sewing friends, Happy New Year and happy Make 9 season. Make 9's not a whole season, but this is definitely the time of year where the new year is fresh, or maybe you've been making your list like over the holiday break. But for so many of us in the sewing community, this is a time where we kind of do some reflecting on last year's making and start setting some goals for the coming year. So I have today my Make 9 2025, and similar to the last couple of years, I am taking a more laid back approach. Now I do have like some specific fabric ideas, and I'll talk about those here, and some specific patterns, but largely I'm going to keep things more broad and like a bit more categorical. I find that that works better for me than having like really strict specific plans. So a little bit of freedom, and I think of Make 9 more as a menu. I think it's really fun. It's a great way to like set some goals, but for me it is not like a rigid thing. I don't have to be disappointed at the end of the year if I made different choices or didn't get around to everything. So yeah, I am excited to share what my plans and my thoughts are this year. So before I get into the individual projects, I thought I would kind of share a little bit about my process and what I was thinking about as I was planning, and just kind of like imagining what I'm wanting for my sewing for 2025. So I like to like divide things up and make things a bit easier for myself. So I picked 3 tops, 3 bottoms, and 3 dresses, just to kind of keep myself organized. Because in the middle of the year, I'm always like, what was on my Make 9 again? So 3x3, 3 tops, 3 bottoms, 3 dresses. And I am kind of in maybe like a style pivot point, I feel. So I had a harder time this time around than I have in past years. Kind of thinking about like, in 6 months, am I going to want this? But so I ended up picking things that either have been in my stash for a while, things I've really wanted but just couldn't really prioritize before. There's a couple of patterns that came out this year that have just been like, they have not left the forefront of my brain. Like I'm always thinking about the Vivi dress from Pattern Scout. So I'm going to talk about that one for sure. So I kind of took like a little bit of a different approach, and it did take me some time to kind of settle on things. But again, I'm okay with that, and I'm okay with if these plans change, if I don't end up getting to some of these over the year. A whole year is a really long time to plan ahead for, which again is why I kind of take like a looser, more, garment type category approach rather than like this specific pattern and this specific fabric. These are just kind of more ideas. Like I said, it's more of a menu to choose from, and if I need to make like little adjustments or substitutions, that's cool too. So the first category is tops, and again, loose category, because really what I've got here is 2 layering pieces and a top. So first up, I have been wanting to make a vest for a while now. I have a like just Columbia zip up that I wear all the time, but it's black and it's kind of boring. So last year I picked up this fantastic fabric. It is very loud, so I'll try to, it like makes a lot of noise. So I'll try to hold it away from the mic if I can, but it's a like, let's show you the inside. So this is like the lined side. On the inside, you can see that it's got a layer of batting underneath it, and then it is quilted here. So I'm hoping that this will be like as warm and cozy. I love having just like a little extra layer, both for warmth, but I'm also really trying to kind of expand my styling a bit these days. I tend to just be like a one and done person, but I'm really trying to bring more of my like artistic creativity that I know that I have into my outfits, not just into the garments themselves. So instead of just doing like jeans and a t-shirt, and then a layering piece, and then like an intentional bit of accessorizing, because I have those things. I have them in my wardrobe and in my closet, but I tend to like just not really utilize them. So I really want to lean into layering pieces this year as kind of an overall goal. And I think that this would be a really nice one. To be honest, I'm not going to make this right now. It probably wouldn't be until like rolling over until next fall, but it's here, and I did find a pattern for it. I do not remember the name of it. I have it in, I made some notes. What is it called? Envigado. That's why I didn't remember. It's by It's Just Stitch, and I love It's Just Stitch patterns because they have bust cups, and I knew for something like this, I would definitely need some good shaping. Yeah, and like a dart is not going to be great in something like this. So I've been looking specifically for a princess themed vest. And if I couldn't find a vest, I was just going to find a jacket and then, you know, make it sleeveless. But the Envigado vest looks like it's exactly what I want. I will probably leave off the drawstring and maybe do something different with the pockets. Yeah, this pattern is more of like an anorak sort of vibe. And in like a puffy, thick fabric like this, that's probably not going to be great, but I do really like, yeah, the features on there. Again, the princess seams with the cup size built in is going to really help me get a good fit on something like this. I like that it has the like zipper, but then also like a flap with snaps. I'm not sure if I'll be able to make that particular detail work in this, but even if I just have the zipper, I think this is a really great starting place, yeah, for a little vesty layering piece. So next on my list is some kind of elevated knit top. Now, I'm not going to go into a lot of like pattern recommendations or ideas for this one because I did a whole video on it, yeah, like a month ago. And so I'm still like working through that. I have made 2 of the 6 that were on that list. So working on that. So far, I'm loving the Seamwork Goldie, which, yeah, that was one of the ones that I've made already. That one's really great. I also love the Forget Me Not Iris. I haven't made that one yet this time around, but I have made it in the past, and it's a really, really good one. So yeah, I'm gonna keep working on that project. I have a bunch of fabrics that I can like count for that, but just to kind of have a fabric to share with the idea. This is a bamboo cotton jersey mix. I love any kind of like viscose, whether that's regular viscose, tencel, bamboo, modal, anything like that mixed with cotton in a jersey is just going to be, it's like my absolute favorite. I find viscose jersey, like I love the drape of it, but I find it can be a little bit clingy and sometimes even a bit like plasticky feeling that I don't like. And it's a little too heavy. It's not very durable. It always ends up getting like pilly and bally, and yeah, I find that it's just not like a great long term for the fabrics I've been able to find. And I've tried quite a few different viscose jerseys. The ones that I love the most are the ones that are mixed with cotton. I feel like having like even just like 20 to 30% cotton mixed in there makes them so much more durable. It gives it a little bit of body, but you still have the nice drape and it still feels really good on the skin. So I have this purple one. Yeah, I have a bunch, but this is the newest one that I just got, and it's so, so pretty. So I'm gonna keep on with my plans, and then probably at the end, I will pick my favorite of the different tops that I made, and then go ahead and make whoever the winner is will get made into this really pretty purple fabric. I bought this one from the Final Stitch. In the fall, I had seen it like everywhere. I had seen it at Blackbird, Raspberry Creek, like lots of places in the US. But now I can only find it at the Final Stitch. So I will put the link in there below, but yeah, in case you want that. But it's so soft, it's really, really nice, and I can't wait to make something up in that. So this is another one for the top half. It's not really a top itself, but I really would like to make a jacket. And specifically, I really would like to make a denim jacket. So I've been looking around for ages and honestly just like very worried about the fitting. I've talked about this before that like I have narrow shoulders, a full bust, and a broad back, which makes like woven jackets a bit tricky. But I did find the Adenas jacket, or Adenas, I'm not quite sure how you say it, but it's from Itch to Stitch. Again, it's got like bust cups and princess seams, so everything is kind of paneled together, and I think with that I can get a pretty good fit on it. It is something I'll want to toile for sure. or at least maybe not toile, but at least like baste everything together first, because there's lots of top stitching and I think like flat felled seams. It looks really great, and I think if I can pull it off, it will be something that I can wear like for years to come and will be like a really good staple in my wardrobe. And again, I'm wanting to kind of incorporate more layers into my outfits and kind of go for that like, yeah, I think it's called like the French rule. I'm not sure, but it's like basically you have like 5 pieces to an outfit. You have your top, your bottom, your shoes, one accessory, and then one layering piece, as kind of like to be like more intentional. It's not necessarily like a formula or like it looks good or not good, but it's more about like looking creative or like putting creativity into an outfit and bringing more intentionality to it. And I find that I just don't really have layering pieces, because even like ready to wear is also like difficult to find layering pieces that fit me very well. So it's really like high time that I try to make my own. So yeah, I've got this stretch denim that's been in my fabric stash for ages, and hopefully this year I will summon the moxie to get started and try to make myself a jacket of some kind. So here's my little stack for bottoms. I have a mini skirt, a midi skirt, and a pair of trousers for what I'm hoping to make with these this year. So starting off with this one, it is a stretch corduroy that I bought last fall. So it's been in my stash for a little while. And yeah, so I'm kind of gonna think of like mini skirt slash pinafore perhaps, because I did buy enough to make a pinafore, which is what I originally wanted from it. But now I'm kind of in the, I don't know if I want to keep waiting around for myself to actually like make and fit a proper pinafore, or if I just want to dive into a skirt so that I can actually have the fabric in my wardrobe, like made up as something that I can wear. So ultimately I would really love a pinafore, and I do love the look of the Dulcie from Jennifer Lauren Handmade. I've made it before, but I had some struggles with the fit, and then I've like changed size since then, so I'd kind of have to start from scratch with that one. So I'm not quite sure. I did, however, have a lot of luck with the Chalk and Notch Shea, which is a princess seamed pattern that I could maybe like make into a pinafore just by like fitting a different skirt. Or again, I might just make it easier on myself and go for something like the True Bias Blair. That is, I love that look with the corduroy skirt and like the little pleated pockets. That one is really, really cute. And it's definitely the vibe that I'm wanting with this kind of like houndstooth slash plaid checked fabric. Definitely kind of like late 60s, early 70s kind of vibe. I want like a mini skirt, somewhat like of an A-line, and then to wear it with like some knee-high boots and a turtleneck, I think would be really, really cute. So skirt or pinafore, mini length is what I'm looking for this one. So a garment that I like don't have in my wardrobe at all right now is a midi skirt. And I think that they're such a versatile shape because of the amount of coverage. Like I find in the spring and the fall, like it's maybe too warm to wear trousers, but then having like full bare legs is not quite, it's not quite warm enough for that yet. In the summer, like just wearing it with sandals, especially if it has like a button front where you can kind of undo some of those and like have it be a bit more breezy. And then in the winter time, yeah, just like layering it up with like leggings and boots is, again, so versatile, and I don't have anything like that in my wardrobe right now. So I am working on one. I do have one cut out, and I could have brought that one up to show you, but instead I grabbed this fabric. This is a viscose from See You at 6. I think it's called Cuban Houses. It's from a couple years ago. But I initially bought it for a dress, but then as I was thinking about midi skirts, I think this one would be really, really cute, mostly because like I have so many of these colors. It would be really great to pull out like the greens and yellows in like the spring and summer, but then I could go for like the navy and brown as it gets like to fall and winter. So I think this could be a really versatile wardrobe piece for me. And the two patterns I'm thinking about are the Alix or the Alex from Fiber Mood. It is a pleated, just like I think it's just like knife pleats and then some big pockets with a button front. I think that would be really cute. I think it would be kind of nice to have the button placket to break up this print a little bit. But that one is like a little bit more A-line, so I'm not quite sure about that shape, but in the viscose, I think it could work. The other one that I'm thinking about is to use the skirt off of the Chalk and Notch Orchid dress. I used to have that as a midi skirt and I wore it all the time. It's got the split up the front, which would I need to pattern match? I'm not quite sure. That one though, I think is a really good shape for me because it's not quite rectangular. Like it has a little bit of an A-line, but because it has like the drawstring and then the split up the front, it feels like a little bit more sporty, I think. So those are the patterns I'm looking at for this one specifically, but I do also maybe want to try like a bias cut midi skirt. That was on my fall plans for this year, but then I didn't quite make it to that one. So we'll see. I feel like I have a lot of thoughts right now around midi skirts, but yeah, I'm hoping to prioritize this fabric for it specifically this year. So the last one in the bottoms category is a pair of trousers. Now, I did already talk about this in my winter plans, so I have this fabric here for a pair of Noah trousers from Seamwork. This is a stretch cotton twill in like this kind of rusty like pumpkin color. So that is like this specific one, but then I've also got the Chalk and Notch Isle jeans on my radar for this year. Again, it was on my Make 9 last year and it didn't happen, but yeah, so it might be a pair of flares, it might be a pair of trousers. I'm hoping, I really, really want to push myself into actually making something with a zip fly this year. But for the sake of Make 9, I will give myself like the leeway that if I make just like another pair of elastic waist, like soft pants, not pajama pants, but like the free range slacks or something like that, I would count that also. But again, these are in my winter plans, so I should be working on these like in the next couple months anyway. I know like So Fancy Pants usually happens in January, so if that's on, I might follow along there either with these guys or with my plan for the with the Isle jeans, which, let's see, that fabric is right here. It's this like hatched denim stretch fabric. So really this is like 2 pairs of trousers that I'm hoping to make, not just this year, but this winter. So yeah, I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful for this one to actually get checked off this year. Last up are dresses, and the categories are a jersey or knit dress, a smock dress, and a shirt dress. So the first one, I did just grab this from my fabric stash. I only have, like it's a cut for a top, not a dress, but honestly, I might just go buy more of it because it's so nice. It's really, really squishy and thick. I think it'll be really, really great it's gonna be a good dress weight jersey, I think, because it's got that extra bit of body to it. It is a viscose, and if I'm remembering right, I think it is 91% viscose and 9% elastane, which maybe is why it has a bit more body to it. Yeah, it's really, really nice, and I love this color. I know it's one that I have one top in a really similar color and I wear it all the time. So this one is meant to be a top. That's what's in my winter plans for this one. But yeah, I think I might just pick up some more. And what I want to make with it, the dress that's like really in my head right now is the like funky tie style dresses. I've seen several patterns for this one. And recently, like a free one came out from not Closet Core, but Core Fabrics, their like sister brand, released a free pattern for it. So that one is free, which is great. But there's also one, I think, by Itch to Stitch. There is one from So Over It, one from Jali. I think that one's called the Rachel. Anyway, they've been around. It's not new, but it's like a sheath style dress, but then in the construction there's like this asymmetrical tie that kind of like brings everything together, and it's just like it looks so pretty and so put together. Like it's basically like gonna feel like a t-shirt, but it looks really elevated and really cool. So I think it'd be gorgeous in this color. I think the weight of this jersey would work really, really well for that. So that's the one that I'm thinking about right now that is like very much at the forefront of my mind. But in planning for a year-long project that is Make 9, I did just decide to call this category like a jersey or a knit dress because I do also love sweater dresses. I probably won't make one like right now, but maybe in the fall. And then I've also kind of been wanting like a more summery, just like straight up like t-shirt dress is not a thing that I've had in my wardrobe for a while. So that I would probably just like self-draft maybe, just like take one of the t-shirt patterns that I like and add some length to it. I'm not quite sure. Yeah, I don't have anything like really specific for that. I don't keep a lot of knits in my fabric stash. Those are ones that I tend to like buy and sew up right away. So that's why I kind of pulled this like stand-in one. But yeah, I am actually going to Amsterdam next week. No, in 2 weeks. So I might make a little stop by Bookin', and if they have more of this, I might get some more and squeeze in a little Brisa dress. So the next category is a smock dress. Now this is a style of dress that I have tried and made several failed attempts at. So I have tried the indigo from Tilly and the Buttons. I've tried kind of self-drafting a little bit here and there, like trying to adapt like a woven top, and just not quite. I got close. I got close on one attempt, but I'd like to try some more. And I'm hoping that this year I have some more resilience for that. This year I did not, like I gotta say. And when I looked back at like what I made in 2024, I really stuck to like a few tried and true patterns. I didn't end up making a lot this year. I had a lot going on, especially health-wise. So I really stuck to tried and true stuff, and that's great. I made some things I really, really love this year, and I am happy with that. But I'm hoping that I have a bit more energy in the coming year to do some more experimentation. I watched a video that was like, the hard thing about creativity is that it involves a lot of trial and error, which means it involves a lot of error. And I was like, yes, that is the trouble. And, sometimes in my creative, like where I'm at in my creative place is like that I'm ready for that and like ready to learn from mistakes, ready to let things go if they don't work out. And then other times, like this year, I just like felt very vulnerable, and I was not really, I didn't quite feel as able to like take risks and experience like disappointment and letdown. And I'm hoping going into next year that is something that's like softening a bit, where I can take a bit more risks and do some more trial and error. So for the smock dress, the next two patterns I want to try are the Bakerloo from Nina Lee. It's the one that has the really big like pilgrim style collar, which is a bit much for me. So I'd want to change the neckline, and I need to do a full bust adjustment. But I'm hopeful that the shoulders and like where the sleeve sits might be a bit better. And then the other one is I just lost it. What is it? So Liberated Hinterlands dress. And that one has lots of variations. So if that ends up being a good fit, I would have like a lot of possibilities moving forward. So the fabric I picked for this one, there's a ton of fabrics that I have in my stash that I think would be really, really great for that smock style. This one I bought specifically for that though last year at a fabric market. It is it's mostly cotton. I think it's like 90% cotton and 10% polyester to get this like seersucker, like the little scrunch of the seersucker. And yeah, I really like this little plaid. I think this would be a really, really cute one for like late summer and early fall, especially if I did like a little button front, like the Hinterlands. Okay, so I think I've just convinced myself to do the Hinterlands with this one. And again, if it doesn't work out, this was like, I think it was like $2 a meter. So like, it's not a huge investment monetarily, but like, it's a huge like heart investment, I guess, to like, yeah, when you have a plan for something for so long and then it doesn't work out. But again, practicing resilience, letting go of perfectionism. That is what I will try. I will try the Hinterlands dress with this one. I think it'll be really cute with that button front. Yeah, and then the little gathered skirt, some tights and boots. I think this would be a really cute fall outfit. So the last category for Make 9 2025 is a shirt dress, which was a category for 2024, and I did not end up making a shirt dress. I will say I think it's more of like I missed the window for the pattern I was really excited about. And it's a pattern I'm still really excited about. So around like April or May, I think, Pattern Scout released the Vivi dress, and I instantly fell in love. And it's like the perfect shirt dress. It's exactly what I was wanting. When I was looking at a shirt dress last year, I was like, yeah, I want to make one, but maybe I'll take like an element from this dress, an element from this. And yeah, I hadn't quite landed on anything. And then the Vivi came out and I was like, that's exactly it. I fell in love with the sleeveless view with the like shorter skirt. I really like that it's like a really clean, soft A-line. I think it's really, really cute. It fits kind of the vibe that I really like right now of being, it feels really casual because of the camp collar, but it's also really, feels like it's really put together. It's flowy, but not like boho. And I think would be really cute made up in like lots of different fabrics. It could be a print, it could be a solid. So I got really excited about that one around the time that I broke my rib and I got really sick. And then by the time I was recovered, I left for the States for 2 months. So I really missed my like spring, summer sewing window almost entirely. So I didn't get to this one, but it was like, it has lived rent-free in my head for, almost a year. So I think I want to really prioritize that one. Again, my caveat is like, make 9. I'm going to make it like more broad, any kind of shirt dress. So if like a different pattern comes out, or if I end up like just getting really excited about a pattern that I already have, there's some flexibility. But as it stands in this moment right now in January, I am really excited about the Vivi dress from Pattern Scout. It's got bust cups. I love Casey's drafting. Her illustrations are really great. I always feel like I'm in very good hands with her patterns. And so especially for it to be like my first shirt dress, I'm really excited about like using one of her patterns instead of like a Berta or like a Style Arc where they kind of give you like a couple sentences and are like, good luck. No, her instructions are really good. So yeah, I have picked a couple. There's like several fabrics in my stash that I think would work really well for this one. I love the sample that she did of just like a really simple denim. But I also have this really pretty, it's like a bright mauve. Actually, it really works with what I'm wearing right now. It's kind of a monochrome situation. But like as a shirt dress, I think this would be really cute. Yeah, definitely like very spring and summery, would be really fun. And so I think I want to try it with this fabric. And then if it works and if it's what I'm wanting, I think I would go ahead and order the Liberty cotton lawn that has been on my wish list for like almost 2 years now. I saw it in store, but like it is quite an investment and I wasn't sure what I would make with it because I don't sew. I knew I wanted it to be a dress, but I don't sew a lot of cotton dresses. So I wanted something that I knew would fit with that. So if it works with this, it's fitted, and I mean, linen and cotton are obviously different, but I think if it works, it will give me a good enough idea to like green light myself to invest in this fabric. I'll put in a picture. The name is like escaping me right now, but it's these really pretty like suns, and it's kind of like in the same like style illustration of, it's like almost like medieval, a little bit like tarot card inspired. And I mean, I love the whole like celestial trend that's been at the forefront the last couple of years. I love the whole like moon and stars vibes, but I really, really like this sunshine. I think it is super cute. It's all my colors. So yeah, I've been holding out for the right pattern for this. And so if this is it, I'm going to green light and actually like go make that investment. Cause it's something like $36 per meter. And yeah, for any like dress, I would need at least 2.5, if not more. So I've like held off for a while since it's like, it's not a basic, it's not something I need. But yeah, I have been wanting it for a long time, but I didn't just want it to like go into my stash. So anyway, shirt dress, probably the Vivi. hopefully in this Liberty fabric. That's how I'm seeing the progression go, but it's only January. We will see how the year goes, but that is what I'm hoping for dresses. So these are my ideas, my intentions, my menu. I'm not going to call them plans because I know that plans change, and even if I don't make a single thing on this list, I think doing the Make 9 is a really helpful thing for me to kind of set some intentions, to do some like daydreaming about what my hopes and goals are for the coming year. And last year, I didn't like do very well. I didn't even make half the things on my Make 9, but being able to look back at that and see where I just like my style changed and I was like, oh, I don't actually want that item anymore. That's totally fine. That's fully valid. Then to see where like, oh, I did really want that thing, like the shirt dress, but circumstances just like kind of got in the way and I missed the window. Whereas like the aisle jeans, I really wanted to make those, but I, for a long time, just let fear get in the way of that. And so it's a really good like thing for me to be able to look at and see where I've grown, where I've changed, what is still holding me back perhaps, and where I really want to tackle certain things in my sewing journey. So even if I don't make anything on here, I know that I will learn something. So I would love to know from you guys, like where you are on the whole Make 9 thing. I know I've seen a lot of people that are just like, no, it's not for me this year. I'm just going to live in the moment, do my creativity like as it comes, which is amazing. I absolutely love that. And then other people are like, no, we're gonna do exactly the 9 patterns and see where that goes. So I'd love to hear from you, like where you fall on that. If you are doing a Make 9, I would love to see it because I feel like there's a certain joy that comes from making itself, but also like talking about making and connecting with other makers is like its own beautiful, wonderful thing. So definitely hit me up with what you are making or planning or what you're really proud of from last year, or what you learned along the way. So yeah, I absolutely love all of that stuff. So let me know either in the comments below. You can go find me on Instagram, etc., etc. Like and subscribe, all of that, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I hope you had a great start to 2025, and I hope you get to do lots of wonderful, happy, relaxing sewing, making things that you absolutely love in the coming year. So until next time, that is all from me, and happy sewing. Bye!